Hey lovelies, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it's been a while since I've done a main channel video. I've been posting a lot of YouTube shorts since August and it's given me so much motivation. You guys have given me so much motivation to post up on my YouTube channel. This is my only New Year's resolution, to actually get my YouTube channel started. So don't worry, I know that a lot of you guys like my Roblox makeup content, and I have got a lot of videos planned that are like Roblox related and makeup related. I have like a mixed bag of ideas, so I just want to try everything out and just go for it, if you know what I mean. Thank you so much for 6k subs, by the way. I literally can't believe that. Yeah, this is literally crazy. Anyways, today we're going to be trying out the Eternals palette by Urban Decay, a proper collaboration with Marvel. I am a pretty big MCU fan though. I wasn't able to get to the theatres to watch the Eternals, but it'll be out on Disney Plus next week, so I can't wait to watch it. I got this for Christmas and I really want to try it out. I'm not going to do any swatches because I don't feel like that's a proper representation of what the eyeshadow is going to look like. So we're just going to put it straight on my eyes and see how it works out. So if you'd like to go on that journey with me, then keep on watching. Right, so I've just done my eyebrows off camera because I do just want to focus on the palette this video. So let's just deep dive into this palette. Obviously I've already had a little sneak peek of what this looks like, but this is the cover. How pretty is that? If you are familiar with the Game of Thrones palette by Urban Decay, it's like sort of a similar setup to that because they had like a little pop-up thing. But what I like about this one, the pop-up thing is part of the palette, whereas the Game of Thrones palette, the pop-up thing was like a complete separate thing to the palette. So when you first open the palette, this is a little pop-up that comes up. I don't know what it means yet because I haven't watched the Eternals, but this is like the little pop-up on the inside. It still looks really pretty. A pop-up is part of the palette, so underneath the pop-up is the actual palette, and those are the colours. Sorry if you see my little swatch marks. That's where I've tried it out on Christmas Day. But look at all those colours, they're all pretty. When I swatched them, they were super pigmented. Obviously we know that that is not a true representation of what the colours will actually look like on our eyes, so we are going to try them out in a moment. But before we get into that, I just want to do a quick comparison of the Game of Thrones palette. So here is the Game of Thrones palette by Urban Decay, and their pop-up is like a book, and it's completely separate to where the palette is, so that's like a completely separate compartment. Also never watched Game of Thrones, don't know what any of that means. And it pulls out like this and it's like separate. I think they might have taken that on board, maybe, I don't know, but they may have taken that on board because it is something that I didn't really like about the Game of Thrones palette. That pop-up thingy wasn't like part of the palette, it was like a separate thing. So that is something that I think they wanted with the Eternals palette, is that they wanted the pop-up to like pop up when you were trying to get the palette out. I don't really think it's very travel friendly because of that, because if you're in a rush it is quite annoying to get the palette up, and honestly I had no idea how it worked when I got it. I didn't know where the palette was. I thought it was a bit like the Game of Thrones palette. The good thing is that it doesn't like keep closing or anything on itself when you do put the pop-up up. The pop-up stays up and it like connects to the back with them, like it's magnetized to the back. So that's one thing, the really good thing about the palette. Like, it's quite a big palette, it's not very travel friendly, so if you travel a lot then I wouldn't say this is for you. I really do love my extravagant palettes, so this isn't a problem for me. I really do love it, and the fact that it's Marvel and I know what this pop-up actually means when I've watched it next week, it's a really nice thing to have as a Marvel fan. I think the way they've laid it out is like, these are like the neutrals across the top here, and then at the bottom is like the pop of colour. Hello, so we've zoomed in on my eyes now because we're going to be trying out the palette and I want you to have a really good view of what the eyeshadow looks like. I also got another little set for Christmas. It comes in like this little box, and I got like a little eyeshadow palette and this pencil, and I got a primer, and I've always heard really good things about Urban Decay primers, so I'm gonna try that on my eyes. Got very nice cute little packaging, and this is what it looks like on the inside. Focus please. I think I'm going to go in with this shade Grain of Sand as my transition shade. So basically all I'm doing here is just packing on the eyeshadow in the place where I want it and then just blending out. Also, I lost footage of me doing a half cut crease for my concealer, so I don't know what happened to that, but yeah, I have a half cut crease in this next bit. I'm going to go for this shade right here and it's called Merciful. So it's a green, a shimmery green on my brush and just pack it on. Ooh. That's a very pretty colour. So there is one eye done. You could probably see a little bit of fallout on my cheeks. It doesn't really matter to me. You could probably just tap your brush off and then all you'll have to do is probably build it up a little bit more than I am, but I just stamp it on and go charging ahead. So next I'm going to go for Famous, which is this darkish brown shade. Next I'm going to go in with the shade in the shadows, which is like a sparkly black shade. I'm not going to go in with tons of it because I don't want it to turn into like a smoky kind of mess around here. I am not very good at blending black eyeshadow. I'm just going to put like a little bit in the corner of my eyes like that. Now we're going to get my wipe and just clean that fallout underneath and then do that. I feel like it just creates a nice finishing touch, especially if you went a little bit overboard with blending like I always do. For the brow bone highlighter we're going to go in with Protector. Going to go and finish the rest of my base makeup and then I'm going to come back and we're going to do like my under eye, the rest of my face with a highlighter and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll be back soon. See you in a moment. Hello, I'm back and I've done the rest of my face. I just need to do my highlighter and underneath my eyes, my inner corner, and then I'll be done, and obviously add lashes. For my under eyes I'm going to go in with this dark brown colour again, Famous. I'm going to go in with the shade Protector again for the highlighter shade for the inner corners of my eyes. Using the same shade, I'm going to be using it for my cheek highlighter as well. I was thinking that it is quite subtle. I might go over the top of it with Cosmic Blast in the palette, which is this icy gold colour. I'm just going to brush a bit of it on the brow bone as well because I feel like this is a good combination. I feel like what would tie this whole look together is that eye pencil that was in that Urban Decay kit that I showed you at the very start. I've tried this out on the back of my hand on Christmas Day and it was really pigmented. Look, it's literally like a pen. Then on to the final steps, I'm going to go on to my mascara. This is one that I actually got on my Makeup Revolution advent calendar this year. I'm going to tell you now, I'm not very good at applying mascara because my eyelashes are like practically non-existent, so... Ignore the outside of this case, it's covered in face paint. That's kind of what happens with me. I'm going to use Little Dolls Cosmetics eyelashes in the style Valeria. I'll link them in my caption below, they're on Instagram. Here's what they look like. I'm just going to apply them off camera and we'll come back and have a look at the final look. So this is the final look. I think it came out really nicely. Sorry if my eyelashes have fallen off a little bit. My camera was about to die and I had to go and charge it up a little bit, and probably during that time I started watering, so they probably started falling off a little bit. Overall, this palette is really lovely. It's got gorgeous colours. I love the little pop-up thing and that's part of the palette. I would say it's definitely not travel friendly. The pop-up thing is really annoying if you want to get to the palette quickly. Also, you have to build up the eyeshadows, but I think that goes for like every eyeshadow palette out there. Yeah, it's extremely pigmented, so there's a lot of fallout, but if you're like me and you do your eyes first and then you wipe away the fallout, it doesn't really matter. If that's a problem for you, just tap the brush off once you've got the pigment on there, and then you'll just have to build it up a little bit more. Honestly, I think it's a really lovely palette and it makes me really excited to see the Eternals next week. So I actually know what the pop-up thing means, and I am really pleased with it, and I think it produced a beautiful eye makeup look. Anyways, if you like this video, click the like button below, and if you want to see more from me, definitely be sure to subscribe. Be sure to follow my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter and TikTok. To subscribe to my Snapchat for like some behind the scenes and random content. And I hope to see you next Saturday. Bye!